So in this video, I'm going to be explaining what every single wholesaler is doing to get these deals. And honestly, what the whole industry has been yapping about AI, what we're doing with our AI, how we're scaling to consistent six figures only using AI. So we quit SMS, we quit cold calling, we quit Facebook and PPC all at once. We only have two sales guys, and yet we're still doing six figures in a month. We're trying to cross the 300K currently by adding ads onto this, only still using AI to filter the leads, qualify the leads, nurture the leads, to send them to our closer. That way I don't have a full-on sales operation, right? So far right now, these are like the five main marketing channels that everybody is using and everybody's pushing on YouTube, right? And I just got told not too long ago that what I made a video about, which is RAI, hasn't been pushed. So I'm just glad I'm making these videos. But essentially, this is exactly kind of like a step-by-step on how you're gonna get your first wholesale deal, or maybe even scale. Maybe it helps you with that. But SMS and cold calling is how we were able to start, right? We sent a lot of SMS, which it costs us about this, or cold calling costs us about this per caller. This is like per lead-ish, right? Or per close deal, I guess I would say. And these are our revs per system right here, right? These are the problems that I had. So if I had to go back and start over, for SMS, let me move this over. Can I move this over? Yes, I can. Awesome. All right, if I had to start over and if there's beginners watching me right now, I would use, the best thing is Deal Machine for me. That was the best one that I use. Is this, and no, this is not sponsored, but it's this software right here. I typically, this is genius for them to be right there. So yeah, this Deal Machine right here works wonderful for me. I don't think you need to overthink it much. I think it might be the most expensive one too. I don't know. I might be getting trolled on that one, right? You want to go for the least emotional leads. I can't spell. Deal no leads. Okay. For me, that was foreclosures. That was foreclosures. I didn't want to do probates. I didn't want to do liens. I didn't want to do anything else. I just did foreclosures in every other county that I knew, and I was good at comping for. None of this works, and I'm gonna be quite frank with you guys. Like, if you guys don't have that much of real estate knowledge, comping is gonna be very hard for you, like it was very hard for me, right? If you're 16, 17, 18, you really, and your main issue and bottleneck will be that you do not know enough about real estate, you don't know how to comp the property, you don't know what numbers you're actually giving. You might be good at talking to people, but you need somebody, or you need softwares to tell you what to actually do and how to actually comp and what it is that you're actually doing. Like, for example, when I first got started, a lot of my biggest issues was that one side of the street was 100K markup and then the other side was considered the hood. But I didn't know that because I was only in satellite view. And I wasn't ever gonna know that off of satellite or even street view. You had to know that if you actually knew the market. So if you're brand new, don't switch to market. Don't switch to hundreds of markets. Just do 1 to 2 markets and get very good at these, and only target these markets. That is it. Every market works. There's Birmingham, there's Tennessee, there's Georgia, like Macon, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. Screw it. Go for the big guys, right? You want to get very good at these markets. I personally, if I were to start back up again, I would only go towards markets that are not the mainstream markets, like the Atlantas, the Birminghams, which I just mentioned. If you're good like us, go for it. If you're not, don't go for it. Like the Tallahassees, the Orlandos, the Tampas, the DNVs, don't do that. Go for the rural markets, the markets that have above in 100 to around 500,000 of a population. That's what I would do. Again, not here to really teach you on markets. You guys should already have your markets picked. If you want me to make a video on markets, I can, but that's not the intention of this channel. Right now, cold calling, same thing, right? I personally don't use any cold callers from like external companies. I had my own team. I have like my calls recorded with my team. So if you guys want access to them, I don't know, I can connect it with the guys. I don't use them anymore. They're still very great. Reason why I didn't use them is, quite frankly, it was too big of a team. I didn't want to handle 7 guys all at once and then churn and then leave and then rehire and then retrain. That was the issues with me, which is why we double dipped on SMS, right? I needed 10K leads per basically call it too much overhead. It was just too much to handle. I didn't want to deal with that. I guess you can call me an unk or whatever it is you want to call me. I did not want to deal with that many people on board. That was my issues when it came to this, right? So this is the criteria. Deal machine, use it, don't care. Least emotional leads. For me, it's foreclosures. You can figure out what the best leads are. When it comes to the actual SMS you do, right? I use GHL. You could also use Twilio if you want to send messages right away. That's when it comes to the system and the software. When it comes to the actual message, this is what I do. For every 350 to like 300 sellers, send a personal message, right? For every 350. So every 350, right? So select your 350, send a message, send a unique message, right? And do that as many times as you want or as many times as you can. The goal here is to track the KPI of answered, and then qualified lead. Those are the two metrics you really want, right? Those are the two metrics I honestly really care about. If somebody answers and they're qualified meaning like they're not just price hopping, they're not just asking me how much can you give me for the property. Qualified as in like, let's jump on a call, I want to speak to you. Or when you pitch them, let's jump on a call, they're actively wanting to jump on a call. That's what I consider a qualified lead. If they answer and qualified, amazing, whatever. I go back to the text. What was the text that I sent them? I'm going to send that 350 more times, right? Does that messaging work? This is messaging. Just pay attention to this, because this is gonna be the same thing when it comes to Facebook ads, which is something that we're really good at, right? Message. What is the message? They're probates or not probates. They're foreclosures. So figure out your exact message. Don't send, hey, my name is whatever the heck my name is. I don't know. Can't think of a name. My name is Caleb, right? And I work for this company. We're buying houses in the area, blah, blah, blah. Boring. They get that all the time. So figure out your unique messaging and send a text. Figure it out as you go, right? Now, for the people that are doing Facebook, right? I want you to realize that ads library. These, it cost me around from $3,000 to $5,000 to get a contract in the door. There's a skill gap. I'll tell you the skill gap right now. This is the amount of persons we had. I would never recommend to hire an agency. There's only a couple that I know that aren't, I guess, like scumbags. Issue is low quality leads, which is why I'm going to show you how to fix it. And you're going to get price hoppers, going back to the low quality leads, right? So I want you to realize that it's super easy to launch an ad, right? So we buy houses. Look at the amount of ads that are up right now, right? And this should be like 30K plus. Yeah, 50K plus, right? Let me see. We buy houses, your realty. What are these ads up right now? We buy houses for cash. So this one right here, right? That's still houses. We buy houses for cash. That's one of the ads. Matt buys houses, right? They're just boring. Okay, what is this one right here? If you watch everybody make it online while you're stuck. Okay, that's like selling a course or something. Custom bandit signs. We buy houses. Oh, they're selling houses signs. We buy houses. We buy houses. They're all kind of straightforward. Just we buy houses, and then when you get the quote, it's just this. It's a standard thing every single time. We buy houses, learn more, and then just put your info right here. Asking price, and then submit the form, right? And then I'm probably going to see 10 of the same different ads. Just looking to sell your Florida home fast, we will buy it. Get a quote. It's the same thing all over again. Meaning that Facebook is just recycling your leads. It's not even the agency doing it. It's Facebook doing it, because these are everything that is up right now, right? Nothing is unique. Everybody just knows they got a price hop. Like if I see this ad and then another ad and then another ad, nothing is different about you. You don't stand out. I don't think you're a real person. And they're starting to realize that these are wholesalers. We buy houses in any condition. I'm sorry, but that is just so out of the park right now. Like you won't do good. It doesn't matter what you do. Everybody is doing native images. What I have not seen is people do videos, which is why we are doing videos. And it's not just like Ryan,
want to
right?
buy your house. I do not care about the
Hopefully you
condition.
can hear
I
it.
don't care about how.
This is a really good ad, right? Because it's Ryan. You want to do something called a VSL ad, right? So a VSL ad, which is what Ryan does. It's the same video that we just saw right here, right? It's what we started doing. You essentially want to nurture the people to realize that you are a real person. Number two, you want to educate as well on how the process actually works. So for example, our process kind of works like this. I want to have it over here, right? This is our process. Well, we build whatever campaign you want. If it's like PPO, PPC, cool. Static or video ads, upload, okay, cool. Then we get leads. After the leads, or from the leads on the Facebook, they submit the lead into the qualification call, right? This is where I start. The moment they submit their information, they're gonna get a qualification call to see if we can even buy it. If they answer, we're gonna go through one of these, right? Then the appointment is scheduled. Appointment as in like we're gonna walk the property, take the pictures and stuff and whatnot, right? We're gonna create our MAO, which is our offer, right? We're gonna call the seller. If they answer, we're gonna perform the offer call, right? If they accept the offer, then we're gonna go through the contract and then contact them with the dispo, right? I want them to know this. Once they accept the offer, we're gonna push them off to our dispo rep, right? Obviously, we don't call him a dispo rep; we just call him our assistant, right? From then, he's gonna walk you through the TC work, right? So we're giving timeline. So let me go back here, right? On your ad, you want to give a timeline, who they will speak to. Okay, who they will speak to, and then the time that they're gonna get speaking with, right? So on the ad, I basically say at this specific time that you booked a call. So if they booked a call, let's say at 3, we're gonna call you within that same hour, most likely within the next 30 minutes, and we're gonna walk you through the qualification call. After the qualification call, what we're gonna ask you is a series of questions. The reason why we're asking you a series of questions is because of X, right? That way, if they watch enough of the videos, they can expect this, and that way they're not in a way like mad at us for asking the questions because they physically saw the video. And with the education process, right, in a funnel, there's types of prospects, right? There's the unaware, right? There's the problem aware, and then there's a solution aware, right? Going back to the SMS, right? The message, that is the most important. What is the message that you're giving out? We are educating. We're not solution aware. I don't want to be solution aware because if you're all the way at the bottom, people know of companies now, right? People know that they can sell it online. People know so many different things. The one thing that Google has over Meta is that it is a more middle and top of funnel, meaning it's more of a problem aware to unaware. They're curious and they're typing out, how can I sell my home? How can I sell my home? Okay, sell your home. Okay, cool. Here, how can I sell your home? That is the first site they click, right? I'm a scumbag. I'm going to increase their cost per click, right? Enter your home address and get your offer. This is what you want, but for Meta, right? This is what you can build, but for Meta. You don't need to pay Google because, quite frankly, what I was going to show over here is that these guys are, quite frankly, spending $100,000 on their PPC and on their YouTube. I personally cannot do that, and I'm not going to do that if I can do that on Meta, right? One thing I learned about ecom, which is like dropshipping, ecom businesses, whatever it is, the most money is if you can create your buyer. There's already buyers. There's already people who want to sell their homes. Cool. Have all the sharks compete against them, right? I want to create my buyer. I want to simulate whatever I just did right here on Meta. Now, how can you do so? How can I sell? These are search words. Target that on the messaging, right? So on the messaging, it could be something like if you just are starting through, which honestly I wouldn't launch this ad, the probate process, right? Another one could be like, if you, let's say we want to do something on taxes, right? If you just got hit with a tax lien, or I don't know, it could be a lot of different things. Typically, we don't do these, so I'm just kind of brainstorming on the spot, right? Another one could be, if you're wondering how to sell your home online, if you are wondering how to sell your home online, and all the answers on Google are websites to get you a quote, right? So what I'm doing here is I'm going against our competitors, right? Us versus them in a what's it called, in a problem aware, right? If you're doing this and all you're finding is people trying to buy your home online, right? Like this right here. Let me show you why they are going to lowball you. Right, so you're making a claim, and then you're gonna back up that claim with how you're not gonna lowball them, and then you're gonna go back to educating in the process. So what we do is, the moment that you basically book a call, X, whatever it is that your system is, we're gonna educate them, give them the timeline, who they will speak with, how they will speak with, why you're fair, why the other people are not fair, and go almost as if that was the sales call, right? Treat it as if that was a sales call. This is called close to 60 to 70% of marketing, and I let 30% do the sales, right? I want to get and create my own buyers the same way that Google does, right? That is my whole thing when it comes to Facebook. And the way you can do so is with our funnel right here, right? I go for appointments. The green is the pixel, right? The qualification lead, right? Here is, let me see. Get my offer. I'm not putting my address online, yo. So let's say here, right? Let's look at the qualification questions that these guys have. Why can't I find anything? Get your ticket now. Okay, they're showing like some sort of something. Okay. Anyways, typically a seller question would be is, how long have you had the property? When do you want to sell in the next 30 days? XXX, right? The highest intent lead is obviously somebody who wants to sell within the next 30 days. I send that same lead back to the pixel because that's what I want. I want that lead who wants to sell within the next 30 days, right? Not a lead who wants to sell within the 90 days. Why would I want Meta to optimize for that, right? So a lot of these companies are optimizing for these two, right? Just lead, any lead, which is why they're getting such cheap cost per results, right? What I want is sales, which is why my leads cost in between here to here. I want these two. I want the most qualifiable leads because I'm creating my market. I don't want people who are just price hopping. Yeah, like I already heard a company can offer me 727K and you're offering me 550, right? But the other company is a bunch of wholesalers or other people just wholesaling in their mom's basement, which is why they don't know how to comp, which is going back to this spot. If you don't know how to comp, you're also ruining it for us, which is why I have to go back to the education, right? I can't control whether a wholesaler gives an inflated price or a price that they cannot close on to somebody else, which is why I want to create my own person. So the best way that I can do so is attack PPC by creating my own person and persona and ICP on Facebook at least of the cost, which is something that I want to do. Right now, we quit all of this and we're now just back up starting Facebook, right? Because we found a way more sustainable system, and it's the same system that New Western is using, right? So New Western, as you guys know, these guys are doing, I think it's about 80, $70 million in a year or so, right? They're doing a lot. And the main thing they do it is with listing agents and other wholesalers, right? We use the same thing with listing agents. We have a whole software that I call it recruiting and sales that sends SMS to realtors. So every active listing of the MLS, whether it be Orlando, Cincinnati, I don't know, Akron, Ohio, right? Daytona, Ohio. It doesn't matter. Any city, any zip code, any county, it's going to send a message to, right? What it looks like is something like this. I pull it up, right? So as it's pulled up, this is kind of like the process that it goes through, right? It sends the SMS, the email, all within 7 days, right? our perfect realtor is somebody who's been in business for like 1 year. They don't have enough cash buyers, right? We are their cash buyers. And since the first message, it qualifies and it sends them to the closer, right? Now, the way that we've been able to scale is with pocket listings, right? So let me pull this up real quick. Okay, yeah. So simply, this is the software right here, right? So you would just click single family. If you want Orlando, let's just click Orlando. Let me fix that. Orlando, and then in Florida, and you can click search. And then it's going to search for every single MLS listing that's active, and it's going to send a message to every single realtor on here, right? And it's going to qualify, and it's going to send you back the deals that it already has it at 60 to 50% off of the MLS, right? Now, a typical question that I get is why would a realtor, even do that deal? Well, it's because simply we are buyers and we're going to buy 10 of their next deals, just like New Western, right? These listing agents, which by the way, listing agents don't want to work with New Western, which is why they want to work with like actual flippers or wholesalers or whatever it is, right? These guys know that they have to go back to New Western because no matter what, New Western will buy it. If it's the right price, no matter what, no matter what circumstance, no matter what it is, what excuse they can think of, New Western is going to buy it. Listing agents, on average, they bring you 500 leads. They bring on 500 properties each agent. You're telling me that numbers wise, right? And by the way, again, New Western is doing from 80 to 70. I would have to double check that number, million a year, right? And it's because realtors are bringing them from 500 to 1,000 properties each realtor within the year, right? We have about 80 realtors under our deck, under our belt, right, that we sent an outreach to, right? So the first initial property might have not worked. That is okay. If I can jump on the phone with a realtor, right, and from any property, any city, put me anywhere in the world, I can talk to a realtor, they're going to keep on sending me deals. Why? Because we also have a Facebook where we have all of our deals that we have closed, that we have fixed and flipped, that are our Airbnbs. So they know we are end buyers, meaning that I can get pocket listings kind of like these, right? Where we had a 42, which one's this one? Is this, no, this is a 16, right? We had a 20K deal right here, right? We also had a 16K deal right here, and then our biggest one, which was a pocket listing, a $42,000 deal right here, right? This was simply all pocket listings. The realtor had a property they just recently picked up. They haven't even sent it to their cash buyers. We outreached to them, and then they sent us the property at a good deal, and that was it. The AI did the whole process. We didn't do a single thing. So that's how we're able to scale to consistent 3 to 5 deals every single month. And now we're adding our own meta ads. So all of these ads that you see, we're educating people and we're sending people to the same AI that messages back on our behalves. You can see in my other videos where I show it. Currently, YouTube is like banning. I think I don't know. I'm getting like cooked on my videos. They're not actually posting, but we are one of the first, if not the actual first person, company, whatever it is they want to call us, who's actually posting an AI like this. And it's super beneficial because nobody else will do it. Everybody else is pushing like an AI caller. We simply message because I trust a messenger more than a caller. We've tried the calling, it didn't quite make sense for us, so we just let it go. Right. But if you guys have any questions regarding the AI or maybe even how to scale your real estate business, you can just reach out to me, or you can just comment down below. I'm pretty much active every single day. I'm jumping on calls with other wholesalers, mostly fix and flippers, every single day, scaling their business. We've been in the game for a while. So yeah, I mean, we're the most transparent people in the game. If you guys have any questions, again, just drop them down below and you guys have a good one.